One thing I'm noticing is my font is a lot bigger than the students' font. Ms. Terranova, administrative team, colleagues, parents, and you, the class of 2014, I'm humbled to be standing in front of you. This year concludes my 20th year of teaching, and I could easily say it concludes my 20th year of learning. One of the beauties of education is that the teacher learns from the pupil. I've compiled a list of 7 lessons that you and students like you and teachers have taught me along my 20-year journey. Tonight I want to share them with you. I've certainly learned a lot more lessons, yet I think that these 7 lessons sum up many of them, and I hope that they will inspire you to take a moment, think about 1 or all 7 as you prepare to move away from Monte Vista. If it appears that I nod off mid-sentence, someone up here nudged me. My wife, Miss Greco, gave birth to our twins 5 days ago. So I'll let you imagine the quality of our sleep. As Mr. Powell said, the title of the speech is Lessons from a Classroom, yet I was thinking Tuesday morning, standing outside of labor delivery, that I could probably easily change this talk to Lessons from the Labor and Delivery Room. All that I could think about were relationships, trust, and love. So I'm going to stick with the classroom. To help put this talk in perspective, I've borrowed the words from a famous doctor, Dr. Seuss, and his words in Oh, the Places You Will Go. Lesson number 1, the choices I make today shape who I will be tomorrow. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. You are the guy who will decide where to go. The choices I make today shape who I will be tomorrow. This is something that's been in every classroom that I've taught. And I think the lesson here makes us focus on the power of decision making. We need, you need, I need to zoom focus and study how and why we make our decisions. Think about that short verse. He used the word you 11 times. Our decisions shape our habits, and our habits will create our reality. We will all have circumstances to deal with in our lives. These circumstances do not create our character. It will be the decisions that we make as a result of these circumstances that will determine who we are. Focus on today. Use the past to learn and the future to prepare. Avoid the pitfall of living in either of these. The emotions that go with our thoughts will determine whether we are learning and preparing or living. Learning and preparing generally do not include anger, anxiety, or regret. When we start feeling these things, we know we are living in the past or the future, rather than using the lessons from the past and the preparation for the future to help us. Lesson 2, don't hold grudges. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. Don't hold grudges. My first year teaching, I learned the most important lesson in teaching from Mr. Stan Heap, who used to teach math at Stone Valley Middle School. And he told me, don't hold grudges. I've shared this with every new teacher that I've come across, and this certainly is not exclusive to the teaching profession. Holding grudges wears on us. Living in this lesson is rooted in forgiveness. We don't always have to be right, and we most certainly are not always right. Forgiving and breaking down the anxiety that lives in holding a grudge empowers us to be more able to live in the present moment. Lesson number 3, embrace adversity. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked, some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place where you can sprain both your elbows and chin. Do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in? How much can I win? How much can I lose? Embrace adversity. The toughest times we experience, making that tough decision, failure, setbacks, all of these things are ahead of you. Our response to these will either stunt our growth or nourish our growth. These are the moments that allow us to discover and then expand our limits. Focus on your mindset. How you see what is happening in your life at these given moments will determine whether or not we're being stunted or whether we're growing. Embracing adversity will silence the why me and replace it with what next, next play. In times you will skip through life, and other times you will need to focus on putting your right foot in front of your left. Lesson 4, pay attention. Don't mistake activity for achievement. You can get so confused that you'll start to race down long, wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed I fear toward a most useless place, the waiting place, for people just waiting, waiting for a train to go or a bus to come, waiting on a place to, or a place to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, waiting for hair to grow. Pay attention. Don't mistake activity for achievement. Pay attention to your surroundings. Know where you are. Know why you are where you are. Listen. 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 It's amazing what you will hear. Schools teach curriculum about speaking, yet nothing about listening. Trust me, you will not be disappointed if you enter into whatever field you choose and you take with you a goal of being the best listener in whatever you do. Sometimes you'll need to just stop and evaluate. Where am I? Outside of every room at Kaiser Hospital is a sign, and it reads, pause and center. Initially, I ignored its significance, and then I got it. Nurses walking into Miss Greco's room were reminded to be where they are, not where they were. Motion and movement can be deceiving. I can be in motion but not moving anywhere. Use this introspection, these moments of pause along the way, and find your passion. I know, you've heard it all before. Seriously, it will make all the difference in the world. In the last 20 years, I have not gone to work a day in my life. My passion is people, and my passion is learning. While watching a TED Talk in psychology recently, we heard a gentleman say that the two most important days in our life are when we are born and when we figure out why. When we are born and when we figure out why. It was not when we are born and when we figure out our career. Figure out the why. Lesson 5, be brave. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win because you'll play them against you, all alone. Whether you like it or not, alone you will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some things, okay, I'm not sleeping, I'm awake. There are some things that road between hither and yon that can scare you so much that you won't want to go on. Be brave. It's not going to be easy. Is Elise Stelling here today? Elise Stelling taught me this year that I don't need easy, I just need possible. 2 years ago this month, as many of you know, that she was in an accident that left her paralyzed from the waist down. She was told to prepare for a lifetime of this. Today, she can skip with the best of you, and she's not going to be wheeled across the stage, she's going to walk across the stage on Friday. She didn't need easy, she just needed possible. Discover the courage, and like I said earlier, with adversity, it expands our sense of what we can accomplish. Courage is born out of our most difficult moments, and every one of you have the ability to be courageous. Courage is our ability to do, even though we may be frightened by what is in front of us. Feeling fear, yet you still choose to act. Based on decision making. Follow your heart. If you don't know what you're impassioned by, this one's going to be difficult. Persevere in the face of adversity. Standing up for what is right. But a disclaimer to this is, not everything is wrong. Okay? Learn to pick your battles. Seriously, not everything is wrong. Mark Twain said, the saddest sight is a young cynic. And I'm going to tell you something. You are too young and you have too much to learn to be cynical. And you don't have to tweet everything that you think. Faith. Turn I will believe it when I see it into I will see it when I believe it. Exercise your imagination. Nurture the wonder you all had when you were kids. Just because you cannot see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Lesson 6, persist without exception. But on you will go through the weather may be foul. On you will go though your enemies prowl. On you will go through the hacking cracks howl. Onward up a many frightening creek. Though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you will hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. Persist without exception. And understand something. This is not never give up. We can create reasons to give up and give in and give up. I mean, you tried so hard, or the boss is unfair, or they just don't appreciate you. Yep, that's enough, give up. However, if you persist without exception, no excuse applies. All energy is used towards forward motion. Again, we all will have circumstances in our life. These circumstances do not define us. Our response to them will. It is about continuously working to improve ourselves, taking responsibility for ourselves, and working towards incremental improvement. I have studied John Wood, and one thing that always has stuck with me is the notion of today I need to just be a little bit better than I was yesterday. Think about it. If we can work towards steady, daily, incremental improvement, how can we go wrong? And please, challenge to satisfaction. The opening line of one of my favorite books, Good to Great, reads, "Good is the enemy of great. Push your limits." Lesson 7, be kind. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Be kind. Be kind? From that, I got be kind? Yes, without question. As you continue on your journey, and yes, you're already on it, doesn't just start over, preparing to scale the mountain that is your destiny, please understand that everyone you encounter is at some point in their journey to scale their mountain. And we just don't know enough about anyone to fall short on kindness. And I'm going to tell you right now, kindness is not weakness, it is strength. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Be kind, persist without exception, be brave, pay attention, don't mistake activity for achievement, embrace adversity, avoid holding grudges, and understand that the choices you make today will shape who you become tomorrow. Class of 2014, I wish you all the best, and thank you for the lessons that you have taught me and others these last 4 years. It's time to go find another base camp.